Hi there guys and girls, so in today's lesson we're going to look at practicing the right way. Let's get into it. Okay then, so what do I mean about practicing the right way? I get asked this question quite a bit, and I can't tell you what you need to practice. Every drummer's different, every one of us is different. You need to decide on what your drumming goals are, where be it what kind of music you predominantly want to play, what kind of drummer you want to be, and how then you're going to work to achieve those goals. So I'm going to outline a structure on how I go about practicing what I want to achieve, and how I go about setting it out and itemising the time within that to achieve what I wish to achieve during my practice sessions. So as drummers, there's three main things that we probably want to work on. So it's technique, you're playing along with a click track or music, so key timekeeping, and also our creativity. Okay, so they will be the three things that I predominantly will choose to work on in, say, a half-hour session. So what I'll do is I'll pop a list up here of the way that I would structure it, and I'll go through it step by step. So I might spend 15 minutes on technique. So just as an example, my goal at the moment is to work on my rudiments, to get them really nice and crisp, to be able to play them all. As I've said lots of times, the rudiments are a great tool for us to be able to play different things around the drums on different voices. If you think of the rudiments like you would do the alphabet, and think of all the words and possibilities you've got just using those letters. The rudiments are the same. There's 36 rudiments up to 40, 28 standard, I think, 36 slightly adapted, and there's a few different versions out there that take it beyond 40. I'm not 100% sure what the actual number is, around 44, something like that. And so if you take all of those singly and start using them, you've got such a big vocabulary there already of different ways you can play, different things you can throw into different parts of the filling. It just really allows you to move forward with your playing. So that's something that I'm really into at the moment. As I've said before in other lessons, I still have lessons myself. It's more coaching than lessons. But predominantly we're focusing on rudiments and applying them around the kit, how to move them along in the measure to give different sounds, playing them open and closed to give different different sounds, different textures. So I'll spend a good 15 minutes on that. Now my practice session I don't really stop throughout the whole day. I'll pick up a pad whenever I can. If you haven't got a drum pad, definitely get one, maybe a drum foot pedal as well. It just means you can practice a lot more wherever you are, whatever you're doing. If you've got a bit of time, you can stop and work on something. It's amazing how much stuff comes to you just when you're just playing and tapping along, watching a film or watching different things like Drumeo or whatever, different ideas that the drummers are coming up with there, and then how things pop into your head of how you could use it with your playing. So that would be the first thing that I focus on, is technique. So as I said, with each rudiment, with you it might be finger control, might be volume control, that kind of stuff. It might be doing your practicing singles, practicing your doubles, learning different cymbal patterns, that kind of thing. So spend a good 15 minutes on that. Pick one thing. Don't try and just pick everything. Do you know what I mean? Focus on one thing for a year, and then when you've got competent at that, then add in something else. So many drummers come to me and say that they're stuck practicing because they get behind a kit, they've got nothing written down, no structure to it, and they just play the same old beats, the same old fillings. When you sit down purposefully with the music, say the rudiments, you sit down. I mean, I'll only pick one or two rudiments at a time to work through. I won't just sit there and play through all of them. I'll just pick, say, the 5-stroke roll, and I'll probably work on that for the whole week and just keep throwing it in, different orchestrations, moving it around the kit, moving it along the measure, popping it here, there and everywhere, basically, just to try to see what works out. So that's a good starting point, is just technique, pick one thing, work on it. Number two, as we said, is playing with a band. So you can use this with the technique stuff as well, incorporate it, but I'll normally play a couple of play-alongs or play alongs with a few of my favourite songs, learn songs that excuse me, learn songs that I wouldn't normally play. So styles I wouldn't normally play. So don't just stick, if you're a rock drummer, don't just stick with rock. If you want to learn how to use brushes, focus on that. If you want to learn how to play better jazz, focus on that. Same with country. If you want to learn metal, blast beats, you want to become better at double bass. I mean, double bass I'd probably throw in with double bass drumming, that kind of stuff. I'd probably throw in with the technical side of it. But obviously, if you want to get used to playing that style of music, use that section of your practice time to focus on that. So once again, one song a week. Pick one song, listen to it a couple of times, and just go from there. When I'm learning a song, I generally carry it with me everywhere. Everyone's got phones these days or some way to listen to music. Take it everywhere if you listen to it in the car, listen to it at work, and it's amazing the different phrasings and what you'll pick up just by listening to the song. So when you come to play it, it makes it a lot easier. And finally, creativity. So this is something that a lot of drummers struggle with. They say to me, how do you come up with your feelings? How do you orchestrate them? Basically, I just spend a lot of time trying different combinations out, listening to a lot of music. So depending on what kind of music I'm listening to at the time, what I'm into, will dictate what style or the feelings that I play, because that's already processing in my brain. So if I'm, say, listening to a lot of Blink-182, my feelings are generally heavier. If I'm listening to something a little bit more laid back, my feelings generally flow a little bit better. They're not as heavy, not as hard. If I've been listening to the Foo Fighters and I come to sit down, generally a lot of flams and stuff come out. So it does depend on what you're listening to as well. But listen, with this creativity, so I say listen to a lot of different drummers. Listen to the greats, Buddy Rich, Dennis Chambers. Listen to these guys and just listen to what they're doing, how they orchestrate things, how they play to the music, and don't overplay and try and pick out all those little things within the music, the little phrases, little accents, and try and copy them on your drums. So if you got like a phrase in like the guitar player's going like da 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 da, play your filling da 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 da, and learn how to. And then once you've got that structure down, then be creative. You know, ba boom bum bum, or like ba da sta. You know, just move it around and have a. Oh, I gotta say sorry about my my beatboxing there. I don't have a kit in front of me at the moment, but yeah, just move it around a bit. Try a few different things. Basically, with the creative side, people come to say, I'm not creative, I'm not, okay, so I'll sit them down and say, okay, show me the fillings that you're playing. And then they'll show me a filling, say 2 on every drum. I'll say, okay, play 1 on every drum twice, go around twice. Or start off 2 on the one drum, 4, 2, 2. And just get them to split it up. So it's learning that you're not constrained to this 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes, you've got your 8 notes. Where you play them, where you move them around is completely up to you, and that's where the creativity in this comes in. The more you try to be creative, the easier it becomes, and the more you learn to just flow, and it will become a lot easier. But once again, something you have to practice. You can't just turn up, sit behind a kit, and just expect to be creative. You've got to have this process already in, where this creative process where you look at something, go, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, I want to make it sound different to this, or the second time I'm going to play this filling through in the song, it's going to be the same notes, but it's going to be a different sound. And it's having this creative process. Now, if you're not practicing this kind of stuff, if you're not sat there and purposely practicing it, you won't have that framework and that muscle memory to just go to when you need it. So yeah, so that would be something else that I'd really work on. So as I said, they're the 3 main things that I would work on. As I've said, I've popped up something just to show you how I would structure my practice, and it is very structured. It's like if you're trying to get to a place, if you're driving a car, you're trying to get to a place, and you don't know where that place is. How do you get there without a map or without roughly knowing your destinations in between? You've got to plot it all out as you go so you can get to that destination. And it's the same with music, same with drumming. Everything you do, you should have thought it out and plotted it out. Don't just practice for the sake of practicing. Don't just do it, if you want fast hands, spend time doing hand techniques, finger techniques, learning the muscle memory that goes with it. If you want to have amazing chops, you've got to know how to put the bass drums in, like say if you're doing linear fills, you've got to know how to put the bass drums in every point in that 16th notes or 16th note triplets or 32 notes. You've got to be able to have the bass drum in every point to be able to do that. So my practice would be just sitting there going through, just moving the bass drum along, just playing snare drum. So say the snare drum, bass drum on the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'd move it to the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll just keep moving it along until the bass drum, I'm used to playing the bass drum at speed in all those different locations. And so then when the time comes for you to be able to do these fillings, you've already put in all the hard work and the dedication needed for you just to be able to pop them out anywhere. Okay guys, so please like, subscribe and hit that bell just to keep up to date with any future releases. It does help me out, it does move me up the algorithm a little bit, and it does help me to be able to get out there to more people. If you've got any comments or you'd like to say anything, if you've got any suggestions or anything you'd like me to do a lesson on, please leave a comment down below. And also, if you have enjoyed it and you want to go a little bit further, I've now joined a site called buymeacoffee.com, and where you can go on and you can leave a small donation, which allows me just to get a coffee when I'm out with my friends. It will also help me to grow the site, because any extra money that I do get will go towards what I'm producing and buying different things for me to showcase for you and so on. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon.